Do you like retro platformers that throw you right into the action in the style of the first Super Mario games? Are you looking for some simple platformer that your children could start with? And do you like games from the prehistoric era? Welcome to watching VideoGaming Father's video review of cute action platformer from the times of the first people called Duck and Lily. Is there any trace of story in the game? Who are Duck and Lily and can you play for both of them? Can one find interesting level design and variable environments in the game? Will you be facing various kinds of enemies along with the original bosses? Isn't the game overly difficult for casual players? Hasn't the good idea been spoiled by the inaccurate controls? Are the game audiovisuals nice to look and listen to? And is the game suitable for family playing spiced up by the presence of a local multiplayer? If you spend the next few minutes by watching my Duck and Lily video review, all the answers and even more. And here's the story. The brave warrior Duck and his lovely wife Lily are a typical prehistoric couple living their idyllic life in the village and raising their son. But one day something terrible happens. Duck's and Lily's lovely son is abducted by an evil wizard. And here starts their difficult journey on which they have to overcome many difficulties to rescue their son from a villain whose name is unknown to anyone. This story is introduced by a very short intro and isn't developed any further, so it's here just to give some explanation and motivation for your effort. It is definitely not a crucial part of the game, so let's better have a look at the most important part, the gameplay. In the start of the game you can unsurprisingly choose between Duck and Lily, can equip a pile of rocks or one of 3 types of dinosaurs and are thrown right into the action. There is not any tutorial that would show you how to control your hero, so you need to find yourself that he or she can jump, throw the rocks against the enemies or shoot at them with the help of your dino if you have him equipped. Shooting the enemies is the only way to eliminate them, so jumping on their heads doesn't work here unlike in Super Mario games and many other action platformers. So if you don't equip a pile of rocks at the start of the level, or won't find it in the level which is quite rare, you just need to jump over the enemies or dodge them not to get hurt. One may find a minus, but it's actually the way to set up the right difficulty for you. If you want to have the game more challenging, you will start the level unarmed. If not, just equip the rocks, dinosaur or both. What kind of dinosaurs can you choose from and what are they doing? There are 3 types of dinosaurs and although it's not explained anywhere, I have observed that each of them is connected with some element. There is a red dinosaur spitting the fireballs, a blue dinosaur spitting the water balls, and a dinosaur who looks like a giant turtle spitting the rocks. I haven't noticed many differences between them except that red dinosaur can cross the lava and blue dinosaur can destroy the rocks that normally cause the loss of the dinosaur if you step or jump onto them while riding the dino. In general, the dinosaur just gives you the ability to shoot and 1 additional life because it will simply disappear after the first contact with the enemy, but your hero doesn't lose his life. On one hand, the dinosaurs enrich the gameplay, but on the other hand their abilities could be used somehow better and they could also differ more from each other. Now let's take a closer look at how the typical level looks like and what kind of enemies you will be facing. Duck and Lily is a very simple platformer in its core. You just need to go forward, jump between the platforms either horizontally or vertically, avoid the obstacles and dodge or eliminate the enemies. You collect the stats but not because of the presence of some star ranking system, but to increase your score. Your score is also increased with each eliminated enemy. The score here is not to be compared with the results of other players, but as universal currency that you can buy additional piles of rocks or the dinosaurs for. Each pile of rocks or dinosaur costs 500 score points. For each collected star you get 5 points, and for each eliminated enemy around 30 points, so you will have enough points to buy many rocks and dinosaurs soon. Once you equip any of it and lose it while playing, the number of them in your inventory is decreased by 1. As for the enemies, you will be facing various kinds of enemies. Some of them are just static, some move either slowly or quickly, and there are also flying ones. To be honest, many enemies are hard to describe, as they are just circle or square shaped something, but the ones I have recognized are hedgehogs, spiders, flying unicorn birds, various skeletons, small flying dragons, jumping piranhas, or evil clouds sending the lightnings at you. The other creatures can be described as some monsters from the famous cartoon Monsters in Company. Most of the enemies are not very challenging and look rather cute than scary, which defines the target group for this platformer: kids. There is a boss battle after each few levels. There is a battle against some giant insect, an evil tree, or flying skeleton dragon. However, they are just stronger enemies. You will not need to think up some special tactics on them, just to shoot at them and dodge their shots, which is not too difficult as they are slow and the bosses themselves are rather static. The enemies are variable enough, but still they were a slight disappointment for me, as I was expecting that the authors will better use the prehistoric era and will be serving various kinds of dinosaurs and other animals that you will need to face. How about the level design, difficulty and controls? The level design is definitely not bad. The levels are situated into a forest environment with water, caves with lava, desert with quicksand, or snowland with falling icicles. You will need to avoid fires, rocks, or falling into holes. There is a lot of jumping in the game, and from time to time there are also either horizontally or vertically moving platforms or trampolines. There are no checkpoints in the game as the levels are short, and their design reminded me of the first Mario platformers. Even the game graphics are similar to those good old classics. Doug and Lily is only missing more surprises and inventive ideas that you get many in every Mario game, and also other classics of the platforming genre. There could be more types of upgrades to be found, various traps to avoid, some hidden areas, and so on. When it comes to the game difficulty, the game belongs to the easier ones. The levels are really short and most of enemies are easy to avoid or eliminate, and the game does not require a precise platforming, and although your hero has just 2 lives, 3 if rides the dinosaur, you will be able to finish many levels on the first attempt. The difficulty level is set fine for kids and casual players, but I am afraid that more experienced players will find the game unchallenging. There could be definitely more levels of difficulty to choose from in the game. I have played the game on the Xbox controller, and what I dislike is that the game has just partial support of the controller, which means that it doesn't support the analog stick or start button, and also the navigation in the menu between the levels. I don't think it's just a big deal to properly support game controllers, especially for the action platformer. Luckily the controls are responsive enough in the game, and I cannot say that I would have ever lost the control over the situation because of their clunkiness. Let's have a look at the game audiovisuals. Doug and Lily has simple but cute graphics in 16-bit console style. You cannot expect many polygons or special effects, but the graphics are very colorful, rather smooth, and the game can be run on very low-end PCs. The music will also return you to the era of 8 and 16-bit consoles. And I mean in a good way. It's mostly nice to listen to and changes enough tracks not to become repetitive too soon. Sounds on the other hand are rather generic, and you will almost not notice them through the music. They could be definitely more distinctive. Okay, is Doug and Lily the right game if you want to reminisce about good old action platformers from the turn of the 8-bit and 16-bit console eras? There are quite a lot of positives. Instant gameplay, optional style of playing, presence of dinosaurs, good level design, variable environments, short levels, suitability for children, responsive controls, stylish graphics, and nice retro-like music. And here is the list of negatives. Too simplistic game design, absence of proper story, lack of difference between the dinosaurs, mostly generic enemies, boss battles are no real challenge, only partial controller support, and dull sounds. Thanks to rather low difficulty, easy accessibility and cute graphics, the game is definitely suitable for children and also for family playing. The only problem I can see here is the absence of local multiplayer. Come on devs, the game called Duck and Lily is screaming for local co-op for 2 players. Duck and Lily costs €3.3 on Steam, which is quite a fair price, but it's very often discounted even by 90%, so I would recommend waiting for some discount this time. Duck and Lily is a small action platformer to deliver pure arcade fun from the first half of the 90s. And thanks to instant gameplay, short levels, cute retro graphics and rather easy difficulty, it manages to do so, at least for kids and casual players. Experienced players would be missing real challenge, robust game design with many power-ups, tough enemies and refreshing ideas. And the biggest minus is absence of local multiplayer, which should really be present in such a game. Despite all of this, I have still enjoyed playing this game, which can still deliver short arcade fun, and thus I'm giving it thumbs up, and VideoGaming Father's index 6+ out of 10. Thank you for watching the video review. If you have enjoyed it at least a bit, please don't forget about thumb up and subscribing to my VideoGaming Father's channel. See ya!